Welcome to the Late Night Warriors podcast about animation, entertainment, and all the other sort of things that go around in the warrior circles. And of course, I'm Alex, and we've got
Chris, second-hand man of the channel.
Yeah.
Please follow us on Twitter.
Our Twitter is at LNW Duo. Of course, you could stick around there to catch an update on when the next podcast is going to be out, when the next sort of video is going to come out. Just anything from us. Doesn't even have to be updates if you're looking for not updates, Just you could follow us at LNW Duo.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to click the follow button. It's not going to kill you or anything. I mean, I've seen cases of coronavirus killing people, not follow buttons killing people, so you can be rest assured that it's safe to follow us.
Dang, we already mentioned the coronavirus already. All right, fair enough.
It's still topical, but I think
you know what else is topical though?
Yeah.
Mario. This is the 35th anniversary of the plumber from Nintendo himself. And there's a lot that has been announced, more game-wise. I'll have to point out, no, there's no new announcements about the Illumination movie they're doing, except the fact that I think, they're still doing it. I think it's out next year, but they're keeping quiet about that.
I think they said it was 2022.
Oh, that's right, yeah. 2022. My bad.
And they're still on track to release 2 years from now. I, for one, very weary about it.
Same. But it's just
because this is Illumination we're talking about.
But I mean, if the word is true that Miyamoto will be like the guy to really affect something like a Mario movie, we'll see what that entails as well. If it's just ends up being a little more faithful or maybe a little planned, I don't know. It's a very curious one.
I guess maybe too early to judge it, but
right.
But it's Illumination, so there's no choice but to judge it in a sort of not so good manner. But
understandable.
They did make Despicable Me, or at least the first one, and that one was a pretty alright movie. So maybe they can do it again. Maybe they can make it pretty alright.
We'll just have to wait and see. In 2022, when it's out, probably in the summer.
Yeah.
But the games that have come out for the 35th anniversary of Mario, or Super Mario, I should say. Okay, the first one, the big elephant in the room, Super Mario 3D All-Stars is a real thing. It includes Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy, all for the first time in high definition on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it's been rumored for many months.
Yeah, and apparently Galaxy 2 was going to be included in there at some point, but it's not there at all.
Some people right now are sort of talking about, it's this new rumor where some people are saying that, maybe Nintendo will release an update that will include a Super Mario Galaxy 2. But knowing how lame Nintendo can be, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and considering, I guess I'll point out the one thing about all these announcements. A lot of this stuff is going to last till March 2021. So, I mean, it seems like they want this to be like, each title to be like a special sort of thing that doesn't get changed in any way, so unless it's like bug fix or something. But yeah, I wouldn't expect Galaxy 2 to be out by March 2021.
I don't think they did any real bug fixes in these ports. They're just ports. They're presented as is.
Oh, and it's not just ports. Okay, so apparently for the 3D All-Stars, Nintendo took it upon themselves to bring Nintendo 64, GameCube, and Wii emulation in this package for the Nintendo Switch, and this is the only way you could do that sort of thing right now. Apparently some hackers, I think they have been trying to toy around, they definitely extracted like the ROMs out of it, but they're trying to get other games to run on it too at this point. But it's pretty cool that they've done that for the Switch, but it also leaves me conflicted because if this is a, I guess this is the way they do virtual console now, right? That's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's also been another rumor flying around that after March 2021, Nintendo might introduce virtual console for like you know how they have that NES service and the Super NES service where they just add games
This is where they're gonna add like
periodically.
N64 and the other
Yeah,
consoles.
yeah,
That would be great.
there's talk that they might do that for those consoles.
Bring it on, Nintendo.
If Nintendo's cool enough, maybe they could because, like you said, the game has emulation for three different consoles, and they all work pretty well. So I feel like this is almost kind of like a secret experiment Nintendo is running behind the scenes to
Yeah,
see
that's
how
that's part of why I want to take part of it, but at the same time, there have been rumblings about Super Mario 64 PC getting a PC port, not from Nintendo, but the community has brought it to us, and we were discussing it prior. There's the whole Render 96 project, which brings that sort of the SGI sort of style of graphics, like the cover art of Super Mario 64 as an actual game in a way,
yeah. I
and like
uh I was just gonna throw my hat in the conversation and say that I think YouTube recommended me a trailer for that like a couple days before the game came out,
oh
and I was impressed by it because I thought it was a cool idea to remake the game with those renders that they use on the box art and those promotional renders. I thought that was a really cool idea to do, and
yeah. Apparently, they're
and
managing to find like the a lot of the original textures that they use for the game in higher quality because I guess
yeah.
Nintendo must have used a lot of stock assets.
Yeah, and I was telling Alex too here that my one gripe with at least the 64 port on the Switch is that they didn't include it in widescreen, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but they did it with Sunshine, but not with 64, so it's sort of like, hey man, that I smell a bit of half-assery around here. You did it for one
Yeah,
game, but not the other game, and then but in the Render 64, they did it and they added like a ultra widescreen mode for it, which I thought looked super super cool. It almost looks like you're playing like you're controlling a movie
yeah.
with that aspect ratio. So I was like really impressed by that option.
Yeah, the
But
community has definitely went long ways with Super Mario 64 at this point compared to Nintendo. And it's weird. The source code, the actual source code for Super Mario 64 did leak. So, I mean, hey, Nintendo could have done something about that, but they chose not to.
yeah, well,
So, I guess it's just, I'm surprised they haven't divested resources into at least, going a little further with Mario 64, especially since it's such a beloved game. But
yeah,
hey, the at least the just the fans and the community have gone together and done that.
yeah. I mean, it sort of makes you wonder if Nintendo's going to update the game later on in the future, maybe add more settings like aspect ratio changes or
Maybe,
uh,
maybe not. Then
maybe
this is
I
the. I
mean
guess this is Nintendo we're
GameCube
talking about.
controls.
But I
But
mean,
then
they.
again, yeah, it is Nintendo, but who knows? I mean, maybe this whole pandemic situation kind of slowed them down. There's been some talks that Nintendo wanted to reveal this earlier in the year, but weren't able to.
Huh.
So, um, I don't know. That's just something that I heard around.
Yeah. Well,
Who
I guess
knows
my
how far
verdict
they?
on it though is it's cool that they're bringing like emulation of three consoles to Nintendo Switch, and that could leeway into something like the classics collection for the Switch Online service. But it's $60, and I probably have a more fun experiencing the games on my computer instead. So, but I mean,
unlike
I want to support their little thing go here. So I'm hoping they do a discount on it before it goes away.
Yeah, unlike me, Alex has a supercomputer in his room, so he can afford to do that. I'm I can't, but I'm
I could
okay
play
with
VR
that.
Mario if I wanted to. It exists.
Yeah, I'm fine with not owning a gaming computer. I'd rather just sort of funnel it all on console stuff.
Yeah,
So,
respect.
but then I miss out on things like Fall Guys and I don't know. I can't think of
Well, it's
any other
event.
game.
That game's coming pretty soon to the Switch, as if
Yeah,
evidenced by the leaks. But it'll take
yeah.
time.
I I legit thought that was a Switch game on its visuals and gameplay.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm hoping it comes to the Switch because it does look fun. I was able to play a little bit of it, and it was a lot of fun. So, but we're going off track here.
Hmm.
Uh,
So the next thing that Nintendo did announce was something a little more humble: a re-release of Super Mario 3D World, but with some new DLC, Bowser's Fury. And
yeah,
I did enjoy Super Mario 3D World quite a bit on the Wii U. I think they're probably
yeah.
gonna sell that for like $30 or something. I'll probably actually get that on the Switch because I never really had the chance to beat the game on the Wii U. So
Oh, you haven't?
no,
Oh wow. Because I have. But
yeah, it's
um,
definitely an easier to boot sort of Mario game compared to 64 Odyssey and whatnot. But hey, it's fun.
yeah. Someone mentioned that the original game for 3D World on the Wii was, I think, I don't remember exactly, but they said it was about 2 or 3 gigabytes. And then on
It's
the
pretty
Switch,
small.
yeah, but on the Switch, it says that the game with Bowser's Fury, it's about 5 gigabytes. So it's like, what else did they add?
Huh.
What's that big increase all about, huh? So
Probably higher quality looking models or something like that.
maybe, but it looks the same, which is
Yeah, it's
fine. I'm
strange.
fine, yeah, because the Wii U was almost HD. It was at, I want to say it was like at 720, and the Switch runs at 1080 with occasional uh adaptiveness to 720. I don't know, but
Gotcha. Yeah.
it does look good. So if I'm not broke by then, I'll pick it up next February when it comes out.
Yeah.
Um, and speaking of Mario, dun, 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 Mario Kart Live. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun,
It seems to be Nintendo's first augmented reality project on the Switch, actually. Which,
yeah,
yeah.
it looks
Does
really
Labo
cool.
count? I don't know if Labo had anything remotely as augmented reality as Mario Kart Live here.
I, I would say it's more VR.
Oh
Home
yeah,
circuit
you're
is
right.
definitely AR. It looks really cool. I like to call it Mario Kart 9. Uh,
It
but
kind of is, but some people don't feel that way.
no, I mean it is just like a toy game at the end of the
Yeah.
day, which is really cool. My one gripe though is that it's like $100.
Oh,
it's
wasn't
it's
Labo like
it's a
$80 for cardboard?
I yeah, 60 to 80 I think. But I think with Mario Circuit, with Home Circuit, it's like $90. And if you want to do multiplayer, you need to have multiple switches and multiple uh
Games?
games.
Oh, so you can't just
So
download like a
it's
demo
not
that just connects.
yeah. So you would
That
probably so
sucks.
you do like yeah, so to do like 2 players, it's 300 and 300 for 2 switches, and then 100 and 100 for like the Mario and Luigi car. So altogether that's like, let's see, six almost $800.
You know what's interesting?
uh
This almost feels like they're trying to find alternate sort of what do you call it? For a while they've been doing like the amiibo sort of craze that they're still continuing on, but it almost seems like they're moving away from it with this one, with other kinds of collectibles.
yeah. I mean, amiibos are still cool, I think. Uh
Yeah. I
but
mean,
this
it
is
was
also super
they
cool.
started off on the concept of Smash Brothers little trophies. It's a perfect way to start
Yeah.
the amiibos.
Yeah.
But it is 2020, and some things have got to change. And if Nintendo is starting to move away from Amiibo,
I
I
don't know.
guess
I don't
I guess
I don't
this is
think they're
a
moving. I don't think they're moving away from Amiibo because that's a pretty big thing for them. I saw that they just recently announced that they're going to reprint the Animal Crossing card amiibos.
oh cool.
Uh, so that's not dead.
All right.
But I still I think they can still survive on amiibos if they can implement it more. I mean, not that they haven't. They recently announced some Monster Hunter games for the Switch, and those games are getting like 3 amiibos. I think it's gonna stick around. But for the ones that they're releasing right now, it's primarily for Smash, which is fine and dandy. Oh, and speaking of amiibo, I think they're going to release 2 new amiibos for the 3D World port
Oh cool. Oh yeah, yeah,
Switch.
yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, so amiibo is not totally dead, and Nintendo is still utilizing that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
I made
So
the wrong call. All right.
yeah,
Just I'll edit this whole part out, no, or not. Whatever.
we'll just leave
Just
it
let the word be
in.
known that Amiibo is not dead, even though it seems like
Never,
Nintendo's always experimenting. Is the
yeah.
gist of
I
that?
mean, yeah. I mean, they're not releasing new amiibos all the time, at least for Smash, because that's the big lineup. But for other games like Monster Hunter and the port for 3D World, they're still there.
Speaking of what's still there,
Super
uh,
Mario Brothers, but 35, but
as in the
Tetris
original NES
99.
game, you
Yeah,
you where you're competing against 35 people, but it's more like Tetris 99. So it's
yeah,
basically Super Mario Battle Royale, which actually some fan has tried to pull off in more of a traditional way where it's like you're playing the normal platformer and then you're seeing all these other players potentially giving you obstacles that you can die from or just you have to get across and whatnot. Nintendo did take that fan effort out first. That one actually had 100 players, playable
yeah,
just on any internet browser.
yeah. Basically, and it's something that I feel a little sad that I haven't been able to play at when it was originally popular. But yeah, that version it was up to 100. You could play it on the computer, and it's been up for a while. Like it's had some decent updates before Nintendo shut it down, and it's funny too because Nintendo shut it down, and then the developer didn't want to take it down. So what he did was that he basically reskinned the entire game so that it's the same, game where you're going through a course with 100 other people, but it's not using Mario assets. It's using original assets. But even then, even when he created original assets for that game, Nintendo still wanted it taken down, which he had to at that point. And then Nintendo came back and said, "Hey guys, remember Tetris? Remember Fortnite? Last Man Standing? Well, here it is with Super Mario Brothers." And me knowing that this idea had already existed and created by an original developer, it just sort of left a bad taste in my mouth. I was just kind of like, man, Nintendo, that's kind of scummy of you.
I
That's a
gotta say, a
little
similar
scummy.
thing did happen to Metroid 2. Fans tried to remake Metroid 2 within Game Maker, and they made it closer to like Metroid. I think it was Fusion on the Game Boy Advance, but of course it has the same sort of level layout and campaign as Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. Nintendo took that down. However, they did do their own Metroid 2 remake, like I think a year after they took it down
Mm.
on the 3DS, of course. So you have to get a 3DS to experience that. A lot of people did like that remake, though. So I guess we'll have to see if 35 will live up.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It also runs until March 2021. So
Yeah.
uh, hopefully they'll release a more permanent standalone. Well, I think it is going to be standalone, but I hope they release a more permanent version of that game.
If there's enough people playing and they want it, they're asking to keep it up. Nintendo will probably listen to the community. We'll see. We'll see
Maybe.
if the demand is strong for this one.
Maybe,
because like
maybe we'll
yeah,
see.
this has definitely been the year of the multiplayer game. If Fall Guys and Among Us or anything to have anything to say about that.
Yeah. Speaking of Among Us, a mobile game, Nintendo announced Game and Watch, a mobile game for Mario.
Yeah, actually,
$50.
like a mobile handheld, like a standalone sort of device that harkens back to the days they do Game and Watch, but it plays like the proper Super Mario Brothers. So you could just
Yeah.
play the NES Classic alone on just a little device. And you got little things like, the Game and Watch also function as a watch. So it's got this little fun little clock as well.
Yeah.
Those are going to be little collectibles that they're going to sell around stores, like I imagine, like, Target or GameStop. And I wonder if they did this because Sega has something similar, actually. So Sega had this handheld that tried to compete against the Game Boy back in the day called the Game Gear. And they're doing like a mini version of the Game Gear. That's it's about as small as a palm, I think. While those Game and Watches are definitely not that small. Like we definitely haven't seen like anyone try to do like a handheld sort of throwback system. And hey, if this Game and Watch thing does successful, hopefully we get a Game Boy Classic. But at the same time, I already have a Game Boy Color with a flash card and an LCD screen that's backlit, so
Yeah.
I kind of don't need that. But hey, some people want the Game Boy Classic.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping maybe they'll do something with the Game Boy Advance.
A
Uh,
Game Boy Advance Classic would be sick.
yeah, because that's something I grew up on. The Game Boy Advance. That's
Same.
that's actually where I got my start with my whole Mario thing. I've played Super Mario Advance. I've played Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 3. Those games that I was very surprised when I learned later in life that they were ports of the NES and SNES games. I was very surprised by that. I didn't know, but I do prefer the Game Boy Advance ports over the original ports any time of the day, because that's what I grew up on. So I would love to see those come back. They did kind of come back on the Wii U, because the Wii U had like a pretty big variety on consoles for their virtual consoles, and they released Super Mario World Game Boy Advance and Super Mario Brothers 3, the Game Boy Advance version on the Wii U. And you know me, I immediately bought those. And it would maybe it would I guess it would be kind of nice to play them on the Switch if they decide to do something with the Game Boy Advance. But they're on my Wii U right now, and I'm fine with that.
Hey, we may not get a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Classic, but you know what? They haven't done like the Classic Collection for the Game Boys yet on the Switch, so hey, that's something they could do next.
They could, they won't, but that would be cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
But all
I hope
this,
they do.
yeah. Again, all this Mario stuff that we just discussed, so lasting until March 2021 is the big catch. So that's where the value is going to go high for like the Game and Watch portable, the physical version of Super Mario 3D All Stars, and I thought I heard maybe Super Mario 3D World and Mario Kart Live are going to be permanent, but I don't know for sure.
No, 3D World will definitely stick around. That's a given.
Mario Kart Live
Um,
has to be permanent too because like that's seems like the kind of project that they put quite a bit of money on
yeah,
that they can't just like waste after it's like gone in March 2021.
yeah, that's definitely sticking around. So,
But that is it
well,
for Mario.
that's it for all
And
things
now,
Mario.
as Mario walks away, we reach to the Paramount Plus,
As he as he slides away on a Koopa shell,
and the Koopa Shell
because
asks him, "Mario, who is your favorite streamer?" And then he says, "Read the second word." Now, if is anyone watching this video, please reply with the Mario Iffy reel to get some
for
pretty good
for
luck.
for for
Some
insane good
insane
luck
good
every
luck. Yeah,
time.
yeah.
That's what it says here. Now reply to this saying Wario if you real for insane good luck every time. Yeah.
Speaking of insane good luck,
If you made it to the podcast this far and you comment Mario if you real, I will guarantee you will have good luck every time. That is a guarantee.
but yeah, as I mentioned, as we reached the Paramount Plus, yeah, CBS All Access, you know, that was a thing, and that was going to be Viacom's answer to streaming services like HBO Max and Disney Plus. But it's going to turn into Paramount Plus by 2021, which honestly, I've got to say, it's not a bad move. Not a bad move at all because CBS All Access is too long of a name. It's honestly a bit
Super,
unappealing.
yeah, big of a mouthful. But I feel like Paramount is sort of a more recognizable name if you're a big movie buff. So instead of saying, "Hey man, want to watch?" I don't know. I think SpongeBob is on there. You want to watch SpongeBob on CBS All Access Plus? Your friend will be like, "What the hell are you talking about? Get away!" But then if you say you want to watch SpongeBob on Paramount Plus, okay, sounds cool.
It helps
that'd be
that,
cool.
yeah, the it helps that it's also being released by Paramount. So it's yeah. So what kind of library to expect on Paramount Plus? I think it's going to start off with a lot of Viacom back catalog.
Yeah, as I mentioned, SpongeBob is on there.
Yeah, SpongeBob's in there. I think a lot of the Nick shows that are on Hulu are gonna. I think they're gonna stay on Hulu and be on Paramount Plus. Weirdly enough.
Hmm.
And the other weird thing is, if you're expecting like Comedy Central to be there, I mean, I think it's partially going to be there, but they've been doing a lot of dealings with HBO Max to not only get South Park, but they've been getting more of their live action comedy shows at HBO Max. So if you like
Hmm.
Comedy Central, don't get Paramount Plus, I guess.
Yeah, good warning for the viewers.
But if you're looking for Comedy Central animation, maybe this is where Paramount Plus is going to fulfill that. Because you know they're
Yeah,
doing all that stuff with bringing Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy and Daria or whatever back. Maybe Clone High is going to be a Paramount Plus show. Who knows? It all depends on whether or not people give a damn about Paramount Plus. And I don't know
yeah,
if they do yet, but I'll just say that yeah, renaming CBS All Access to Paramount Plus and perhaps making it a little cheaper as well. I think people will start giving a damn.
yeah. But you know what people don't give a damn about? Quibi.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, this is like the
rename
last note actually, but may as well fast forward to it. But yeah, Quibi Watch.
Quibi. No one cares about Quibi. Uh,
Not even they care about
it's
themselves because they're looking to sell themselves to another company now.
yeah.
That's this might be the end of Quibi.
Yeah, they're not even trying to sell themselves because they're such a good company and they're like, how much money can we make by selling ourselves? It's just, you know, please
We
get
need more
someone take
money.
Quibi. We need more money. Someone please take Quibi off our hands. And this is the same place that major studios have invested money in. And
And it's the same apparently the same streaming service that got nominated for a lot of Emmys. I don't know if they won any, but it's a thing. So
yeah, well, oh well. Rip in Quibi. It was sold in a Quibi.
it
Uh,
was it was
they
talked
just
about in
got
a Quibi.
talked about it.
I gotta say,
People
I've mentioned this to
people
Chris a
bought it
while
and
back, but
downloaded it to the
apparently,
Quibi.
sorry to interrupt you there,
That's fine.
but apparently Jeffrey Katzenberg was trying to do a similar experiment like Quibi back in the late '90s, early 2000s. But the problem is the .com bubble burst, so he couldn't do it,
Yeah,
and
man.
and
Always always bad timing for this guy.
yeah, it
It's the
really is because like he launched Quibi, and then COVID happens.
Yeah, but
I
I
mean,
I don't know. I still feel like it's a dumb reason to blame COVID for your streaming service. But
Perhaps.
I mean, that's just me. I feel like that's an opportunity if you're going to launch a streaming service.
It doesn't help that
But
Quibi doesn't have that strong of a brand. They just kind of came
yeah,
out of the blue. So,
yeah, that's true.
so the streaming
Oh well.
services that did well in the pandemic, like Disney Plus, HBO Max, they got their behinds because they've got big brands attached to them. Quibi, on the other hand, is cursed.
Yeah, very crisp.
But hey, I don't know. This so they're looking to sell themselves. This I don't know. What if this is the last thing we say about Quibi? What if they're dead after this? Are we gonna have to run a
Then
funeral on the podcast?
no, I'm
Okay.
okay. Or maybe we can. We'll just keep bashing Quibi for fun.
You know what hasn't
We
gone to
will.
Quibi though?
What's that?
Disney Plus. They've been doing pretty well, and pretty soon actually, they're gonna get like a group watch feature, which is something I haven't seen on enough streaming services or even like YouTube, where basically you're like a Disney Plus user, right? You can set up like watch parties with your friends or just anyone that has a Disney Plus account, and then yeah, you can just watch something like The Mandalorian or the new Proud Family or Monsters at Work together and have a good time. I don't think there's gonna be any voice chat, text chat attached to it, but hey, it's a thing, and it's coming I think later this year as a beta. So that's gonna be pretty neat to see how that does, and I'm hoping that other streaming services get that feature too. I'm surprised again that none of them really do.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting because, well, I think I brought it up to you, but it would be a really cool feature if we can include people that are not Disney Plus members to join in on a group watch. You know?
They definitely should figure out a guest feature.
Yeah, because if it's only within subscription, then that's going to be kind of boring. Because I don't know that many people or know many other people that have a Disney Plus subscription. So
Well, because of the way they market it, I think the count is actually pretty high and competitive with Netflix. And I'm surprised Netflix hasn't done that kind of feature, honestly. But I mean, Netflix has had a history of being very lenient when it comes to account sharing, so they probably don't need to.
yeah, well, we'll just have to judge it for ourselves when it comes out.
I don't know if it's launching as a closed beta or if it's an open beta, but I guess they will reveal more as time goes on.
Yeah, I hope I still have Disney Plus by then. I mean, my
Oh
Disney
yeah,
Plus is yeah, I'm using it under a friend's account. The only reason he has it is because Verizon was giving it out for free to customers, and he told me that their free subscription it ends in November. So I don't know. I hope they do something in November
hmm.
regarding that, because
Yeah.
I'd like to mess around with something like that.
But
Speaking of
I should
Disney
ask.
Plus,
I was gonna ask you,
yeah,
would you mess around with TikTok?
with TikTok, if my phone would allow me to download anything above 1 megabyte, I would.
Hey,
Maybe
but hey,
for
hate to
fun.
say it, but it has been banned from U.S. app stores. So
Hold on. No,
I guess you're good there.
16 gigabytes is not enough for anyone. But my phone is stuck in. My phone is from like 2015 or 16.
Yeah,
Uh, I think I've complained enough about my phone, so
yeah.
I'll just leave it there. But
But
yeah,
TikTok though, their
TikTok ticked
U.S.
their last talk.
Yeah, they're taking their last talk. However, their U.S. division has just been acquired by Oracle and Walmart, or at least the U.S. has approved of that acquisition. Microsoft was trying to be a part of that deal, but they were just denied.
I
Apparently,
still
that's what
think
they
that's
claim.
weird that it's Walmart that buys them.
Yeah, that is strange.
And it's weird too because I recently went to Walmart not too long ago, and they on the receipt they were like, "Hey guys, we're launching a new service called Walmart Plus, and I just couldn't help but think that maybe TikTok would be included in there for
Oh
somehow.
God.
I mean, it's more for the shopping stuff, but I just thought it was kind of interesting how Walmart was like, yeah, let's
So if I
launch
make a
our own
TikTok at
service.
Walmart, will I get a sick discount?
If I do a duet video with the cashier, do I get 5% off?
Dude, that just reminds me. Apparently, I don't know if you've seen pictures of it, but there's a Walmart out there that had a CD for their associate choir.
I saw that. I don't know how real that is.
Hey, it is 100% real, and I just wonder, like, are these guys the next TikTok stars of Walmart? What can I do a duet with them?
What how much potential do they have, and how come Walmart is not using them?
Exactly. I know they're just
Walmart,
associates, but they could just be more than that now that they have TikTok.
yeah.
Well, that
There's
depends
so
if they
much.
want to be TikTok stars. You know, not it's not for
There's,
everyone.
there's so much potential. It's scary how powerful Walmart is getting. I am
I also
shivering.
find it pretty scary that Oracle is involved in this dealing now. I've mentioned how they were pretty sus before, how they've left stuff like Java, some stuff I haven't mentioned like Solaris and whatnot. They just left that in the dust, so they're not very well liked in the tech world. And apparently,
Microsoft.
Oracle, no Oracle, and
Oh
its CEO Larry Page, he's pretty close friends with Trump, so that's probably part of why Oracle is even involved in this at all.
wait, Larry Page?
No,
Isn't he from?
Larry Ellison. My bad. I'm mixing
Oh,
up
I was like
names.
Larry Page. Isn't that
No,
the Google guy? Dang,
no.
he went to the dark side. Google, speaking of which, I think people noticed that Google took out the "Don't be evil" line from their what is it, terms
Yeah.
of service, or from their manifesto, their Google manifesto.
Well, at least they're
So
honest.
dang, Larry Page really fell off the radar after that, huh?
Yeah.
Dang. But no, you're saying that it's not Larry Page,
I
apparently.
meant Larry Ellison. My bad. Sorry for the
Yeah,
confusion, but yeah,
Larry Page, don't
he's
sue
pretty
him.
friendly with Trump. So they probably have a bias as to letting Oracle get involved in the TikTok deal
Yeah,
that ended up getting Microsoft kicked out. You know, but that's
yeah,
TikTok. It's banned, but at the same time, it might come back in a different way soon. Hey, expect. I'm hoping we get to see the Walmart Associate Choir have their own TikTok.
yeah, yeah. All in favor. I'm all for it.
Speaking of Walmart, they've got a well, they kind of have stock of the next generation systems that we shall break down real quick. Microsoft, they've just revealed this month, in the month of September, Xbox Series S, their worst kept secret, the more budget friendly Xbox for $300, 1440p gaming console that has no disk drive. But how they'll make their money back is access to a plethora of digital games and subscriptions that they hope to succeed out of. And then, of course, you have the high end Xbox Series X for $500. Their top of the line 4K gaming console that does have a disk drive. And I feel that Series X is more for like the hardcore console gamer than anything, with only the PS5, which we'll cover in a bit to match that. But yeah, Microsoft, their plans for the next generation have basically been Xbox All Access, which is going to start at $25 a month with Series S. And it's going to include not only monthly payments for you to own the system, so that's going to be $25 a month for 24 months. You're going to also get Xbox Live Gold, you're going to get Game Pass, and apparently you're going to get EA Play. So you're going to be able to play like a bunch of games with the system as long as you pay $25 a month, you know. But yeah, that's their big selling point for their systems at this point. It's the service and the console in a way. Sony has the PS5, $500 or $499, and they also revealed the digital version's $400, the one without a disc drive, but it's the same exact system. Apparently, Sony said something like they tried to do like a cheaper version of the PS5, but it would only hinder like the power level of their system. That they didn't really want to put people behind like that. In terms of their answer to Xbox Game Pass, they've revealed the PlayStation Plus collection, which is going to start off as a collection of PS4 classics that you could download and play on the PS5 at launch at no additional cost if you own PlayStation Plus. But even if you if you haven't subscribed to PlayStation Plus yet and you start doing that for the PS5, yeah, this will still be offered to you at no additional cost.
You're looking forward to getting your own copy of the Xbox here, or
Yeah, I kind of want to get that Xbox, but like, thing is, we also really want the PS5 over here. And seeing both systems revealed and their sizes revealed, dude, they're big. I don't know. I heard we already have the Xbox One X on our living room console. We've got the receiver and a VHS player to deal with. At least the Dreamcast is small. But like,
yeah.
where are we gonna put those other systems? Because I don't think they'll be able to fit in our living room console the way it is now. So they'd have to be standing, and I think that's their whole thing with this generation of consoles. They're designing standing systems. The last generation were consoles that you could just let sit down, but it's interesting. I guess that was just the best setup for that they found. Although that's not to say the Series S is a standing system. That system so small, like it's just barely bigger than the controller, surprisingly. So that can fit anywhere. But yeah, maybe I'll get the Xbox at some point, but we'll definitely get the PS5 first, if anything.
I was very surprised of the price for their new consoles here.
Yeah, especially the Series S.
Yeah, especially for that one, like $300. Like, because just to my knowledge, they're for Xbox and Sony. Their consoles when they first launch, they're always it seems like it's always like above $500, and to see them start off this low, it's very surprising. It's a little tempting, to be honest. It's pretty crazy how they can offer a $300 Xbox and a $500 Xbox, especially because you say here that it's top of the line 4K console.
That's the Series X. That's a $500
Yeah.
system. The Series S is
but even for $500, it doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah.
For being honest here.
The Xbox is very interesting because, like, unlike Sony, the one thing Microsoft did push is that you can play like generations of Xbox games with the Series S or the X. You could play like the games from the last generation. You could play a bunch of 360 games as well as original Xbox games. So if you want to like just start playing some Xbox by looking back at some old games, those systems are not a bad choice at this point, especially if they're going to update that library as soon as these new systems are out. They kind of put a pause onto that just so they could focus on the Series S and X, but
yeah. Still pretty impressive of their price. So
we'll see if apparently the pre-orders for that have been a bit challenging too, but the PS5 is, I mean, my dad and I have been trying to figure out how to pre-order it and we haven't had much luck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
But we're going to keep trying. It seems like they're doing weekly pre-orders for the PS5. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, good luck on that.
Thanks.
Well, since we're going to talk about the PS5 right now, which ones were you looking? Which version were you looking to get? Since there's two different ones.
The standard. We have a decent library of PS4 disc games still, so I feel I wanted to like continue playing some of them, but then my dad kind of took the PS4 so we can enjoy some NBA 2K, and I'm hoping that when we get the PS5, it's going to be a living room. It's going to be a living room system for sure because I helped pay to get us a 4K TV that is claiming to be PS5 ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
No wonder you guys got that TV.
yeah, gotta be
Now it
ready for
all
the next
makes
gen.
sense.
But yeah, we're gonna get the disc version so we could play disc games from the PS4 generation still. And yeah, PS5
Yeah,
physicals if we consider
it
getting
all makes
those.
sense.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, what has Nintendo been doing? Because that's the one name that's sort of missing. Well, they've been keeping quiet on what their plans for as the next generation arrives. But word has it that they're working on an enhanced Nintendo Switch that could release by early 2021. And the other thing that's been going on with Nintendo too is that they've been asking a lot of developers to make 4K ready games. So, yeah, that's a as to whether this means like this affects 3D games too, or maybe it's just like 4K, like simpler looking like indie games or like Super Mario Maker. We don't know yet, but they've been asking developers to make 4K ready games. So that could relate to this enhanced Switch. But they've also
Yeah,
interestingly revealed a patent of a Joy-Con that has no rail at all. It's just a Joy-Con by itself.
yeah. I heard about that. Well, I heard about the 4K thing and that Joy-Con thing. Uh, I'm just more concerned as to whether they fixed the drift or not.
At this point, they definitely have had to have fixed it. If they haven't,
Really?
then well, yeah, they're probably screwed. But the the Joy-Con alone is a bit weird because it's almost like if the next Switch is going to be a home only system, aren't we kind of going back to the Wii days in a way? I thought the whole thing was of the Switch is that it's also a handheld system and not just a home console. That's a bit, a little more low powered than like the other home consoles, but as an excuse because it's a portable system. But like this next Switch, I'm hoping it continues that philosophy of games can be handheld or played on a TV sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that maybe this regular Joy-Con is just for people who just don't feel the need to take their Switch out. I don't know. Which that could be the case for this enhanced Nintendo Switch. Maybe people will actually start playing it on their TV more. But
Mm.
Nintendo hasn't revealed much yet, so we'll see what they have planned for that. Early 2021. Lately, they've been doing a
Yeah,
lot of direct minis that are more about the games rather than anything for the future for them. So, but
yeah.
another interesting thing to point out though is that they say that their next gaming system. You want to know when it's gonna launch?
The Nintendo's next console.
Yeah, this could mean the enhanced Switch or just something new. You want to know what? Do you want to know when?
When?
Because I
I
know
gotta know.
when.
Whoa, insider info. Exclusive.
It's going to launch 20XTX.
Holy
What do you think
moly.
about that?
I'm quivering right now.
I can
I'm
confirm this because
shaking.
Nintendo confirmed this on their press release. So yeah, insider info.
Watch out, guys. We probably have to. Alex probably has to go into hiding with Edward Snowden.
Yeah, I'll have to give him a call after this for sure.
Yeah, Alex is leaking information. This is bigger than the Giga leak that happened to Nintendo.
Yes. There's one thing I should have
Guys, watch
mentioned when we were talking about Xbox and Microsoft, actually. Bill Gates just bought Todd Howard, as Chris put it here.
out.
But really, Microsoft, they've bought the parent company of Bethesda, ZeniMax. So now, Bethesda and Xbox are going to be like a happy pairing to expect moving onwards. So, yeah, new Fallout might be an Xbox exclusive, but on the other hand, Bethesda does have two PS5 exclusives, which is really weird considering that this just happened. So whether or not we are still going to get PS5 exclusives from Bethesda, a Microsoft company. We will see. I think they did say it's going to be a case by case basis. But hey, I think this Bethesda thing. I think they also confirmed actually Game Pass is going to have all future Bethesda titles in the future because as a result of this buyout. So hey, that adds more to the Xbox. So all you Bethesda fans, you probably want to get that Xbox, or hey, just get a PC. Game Pass is on PC too.
Yeah, you can just always emulate it.
Yeah, that will probably be a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for this podcast, really. Um, Again, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at LNW Duo, and from there you could keep up to date with their podcast or anything new from us, whether it's new videos or just again new nonsense. Twitter again is at LNW Duo. And Chris, you got any last words to say?
This was a pretty straightforward podcast. I
Yeah.
feel like
We'll have to
you
thank
know,
Mario for that.
yeah. It was because of our insanely good luck. Again, guys, if you're still listening at this point, comment Mario if he real. If
Mario,
you
if
do
he
that,
real.
yeah, if you do that, we will we'll like your comment, but not like a normal like. It'll be the one that has like our profile picture, that super like version of the of liking comments. That's all you'll get. That's that is your badge of honor.
So again, Mario, if he real.
Mario, if you're real. If you follow us, we will even tweet it out. Mario, if you're real. No, you know what? No, we won't tweet it out. This is a secret. This is how we'll know that you people have listened this far. Mario, if you're real. Remember that, guys.